Question number 1. Can Corey West beat Todd Hutchings tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Were you really thinking that RVJ is going to beat Sasha Andre, or were you just trolling with him? The elite arm wrestlers in our community are so nice and humble. You ask them for a favor and they just say yes, no conditions at all. Just finished a 30-minute interview with Todd Hutchings prior to his match with Corey the Gorilla West on October 16th. I wanted this to be a short 15-minute interview, but the conversation was good and 30 minutes flew like that. So please enjoy this interview. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Welcome arm wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. Today we have a special guest, Todd Hutchings. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, man. So how was your day today? I know it is an interesting question, right? Because usually you are not awake till that time. What is the time right now over there?
It's 11:30 at night. I'm flying out tomorrow. The airport's a couple hours from my house, so I got a hotel right around the corner from the airport. So,
Right.
yeah, it's past my bedtime, but I didn't do anything today except drive. So,
Right. So before we talk about your match against Corey West on 16th of October, let me tell everyone that you are an inspiration, sir. Like, don't know about other sports, but whenever someone talks about arm wrestling and someone gives excuses that they can't start now because they are 25 or 30 or 32, whatever, you are the example who have done everything and you started at 35 years age. So tell us something about your experience in arm wrestling till now.
yeah, it definitely worked out. I started at 35. It took 3 or 4 years before I started getting good. By about 5 years in, when I was 40, I was probably national level or world level by about my 5th year. So, people nowadays they progress a lot quicker, because when I started, the internet was really weak. It was really hard to learn how to arm wrestle. It was really hard to find tournaments. And now there's just so much information out there. But now there's so much better people out there too. So it's easier to learn to get good, but there's a lot more good people. So it's probably harder nowadays.
At first, I was kind of skeptical whether I should interview, right? Because my channel is Arm Wrestling News, right? So I was skeptical whether I should interview arm wrestlers or not on my channel. So I asked that in a poll, and one guy mentioned that arm wrestling channels, or not arm wrestling, news channels on TV, they have guests all the time to speak on topics. So that is when I thought that it would be a good decision to start inviting people to comment on matches, and what better way to start with you. Actually, I did an interview with.
Well, I'm honored.
Yeah, actually, I just finished an interview with Corey West, and he said something interesting. I asked him whether he's going to try to top roll you or not, and he said clearly, no, I'm not going to try to top roll you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to, but it's good to have all those tools. If he top rolls me, I am slipping out, and then we will do every single match in the straps after that. That's what I guarantee. I am not holding on to. If he goes backwards one bit, I am not holding on. I'm just telling you.
Almost the entire world, and especially your fans, were really mad at you after the Zolowev match. Everyone, like when we watch cricket and some team loses, like everyone tries to advise that even I could have hit that ball out of the fence, out of the boundary. So that was the case with every arm wrestling fan. Like even I could have slept better than Todd. That was really funny to hear.
Yeah, that's true.
At first, I was thinking about doing this interview with the two of you together, but then I thought that Corey West is going to be way too humble and way too respectful, no trash talks at all. So I thought I would better record it separately.
Well, did he say anything separately?
No, not really. He was respectful.
No.
And I asked him if he thinks Todd can beat him or not. He said, hopefully not. That were his words.
Yeah, no, and I would have expected him to be humble and polite. I've met him once and talked to him a few times. So no, that's not a surprise that he would be respectful and polite.
So you live on the riverside, and on your last interview with John Brezink, I I was kind of worried about your internet connection, and your internet connection is fine. It is awesome right now, but because you're in a hotel right now, right?
Right. Yeah. This is at my house. I have DSL at the house. It's my internet connection. It takes me about 4 hours to upload a video to
Yeah.
YouTube.
So you have started a YouTube channel. So if any of you wouldn't watch this video till the end, please subscribe to Todd Hutchings YouTube channel. Link will be in the description. So
Thank you.
tell me the struggles of a YouTuber, Todd Hutchings. Poor internet connection and everything. Trying to manage
It's
it with
poor
work.
internet connection. I mean, it's one thing to see in your head what you want the video to look like, and then it's another one when you turn the camera on and then your mind goes blank. And we did that a couple of times. I got a couple of partners that helped me, and we turned the camera on and we're just sitting there looking at each other. It's so embarrassing. So but the videos are getting easier, and I'm learning the software and how to make the thumbnails better and stuff. So, but to be honest, I figured it would take me a year to get my feet underneath me on it anyway. So it's going about as well as I thought it would at this point. But it's kind of interesting. It keeps me honest about my training. Right. If I promise to do 4 videos that week, then I got to get up and do 4 videos. So yeah, it's been good in that respect. It's been fun.
Yeah, this is what I have also experienced personally. Two things are easily manageable, but when you add the third thing like job, your training, and YouTube, then it gets really tough. 2 things are easily manageable for everyone. That is what I assume.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I mean, I'll launch a video in the morning. It'll be done that evening, so I'll close it up and launch another one that evening. So it's it's the time schedule to hold. But as I make the videos, I got ideas for maybe about 15 or 20 more videos already. And, I get more and more ideas. So, and I'm getting a lot of help. A lot of people are offering to help me. You've helped me quite a bit. You sent me some advice as more people see it. People are offering to come over and edit the videos for me or film them for me. So it's getting a lot easier the more I do it. So.
Till you come to your 4th phase where you start uploading quality thumbnails, I can make thumbnails for you for free till then, if you accept this offer.
All right. Well, I'll consider that.
It was difficult for me in the beginning as well, because first of all, English is not my first language. It is not my mother tongue. Although we have learned it in school since grade 1, but we never really spoke it. Even our English teachers taught us English in Hindi. So you can imagine how uncomfortable we are speaking English. So recording videos is a different thing, and conversing with someone is completely different thing. So first time Cobra Roads called me, I had no clue what to speak. I was completely blank, because before that I had never spoken with anyone in English. So then I thought I need to really learn this thing. Then I started doing live streams, recording face cam videos, and face cam videos are easier. I would say they are a little bit lower in quality, but they are really easy to compare to voiceovers. Like I can just sit in front of a camera and speak. It is easy. But when you speak about something, watching that in your phone, voiceovers are really hard. I just cannot do them without writing a script. I cannot.
Okay.
So a voiceover video
and I
takes
haven't
me.
tried yet. So
Yeah. Then I heard some other YouTubers who are native English speakers. They also said that when they record a 5-minute video, usually they end up speaking about 12 to 15 minutes, and that 7 to 10 minutes are just retakes. So then I felt a little bit comfortable about myself that I'm not alone. So
okay.
I have a few questions for you, Todd.
Sure.
Neat Ideas has asked, what are your goals in arm wrestling? I forgot to ask that question to Corey, and I think you have already answered this a couple of times, at least.
I just want to crack the elite levels of the super heavyweight elite level of North America. So I want to get up there with Michael Todd, Jerry Caderet, Devin Lorette, Dave Chafee. I want to be up in that mix.
And do you feel a social media presence is helpful in getting super matches?
I don't think it helped me, but I certainly think it helps other folks.
Right.
I think there are a lot of folks that are getting super matches and being hyped up. And I've heard this, that if you have a big social media presence, people see you, they recognize you. So I think they tend to try to match you up, because especially if you got a big social media presence, most of your matches are you winning. So you probably look a lot more talented and accomplished than what you might maybe actually are.
Yeah. I was talking about the same thing with Corey West, and maybe he got that match against you because he was hanging out with Michael Todd, who has more than 50,000 subscribers. That is what I'm thinking.
Well, Michael Todd's a well-known force in and of himself. And if he's training somebody, and if Michael Todd says this guy's good and strong, that carries some weight. I mean, it's a lot different than if Corey was just telling the people himself he carries, that he's good and strong. So, and there was this match with me and Corey was prior to COVID. There was talk of this happening in the WAL. So this wasn't a spur of the, this was something that, me and Corey have been talking to each other probably for 2 years now. I can't remember because COVID screwed up my memory. I don't know. Things I think happened 6 months ago happened like 18 months ago. So I'm not exactly sure how far it goes back. But yeah, I'm not so sure that Michael Todd's social media presence had a bit. Michael Todd is the champ anyways. And if Michael Todd says this guy's strong and this guy is, a top level super heavyweight, well, then he's a top level super heavyweight. Michael Todd would know. So, yeah, I think Corey earned him. I don't think anybody handed the match to Corey. I think he earned it.
Yeah. And you're talking about memory. YouTube is only going to make it worse when you start reading all the comments that you get on YouTube and replying to them and trying to watch other videos. All you remember is somebody said something. You wouldn't remember who said that thing or who wrote that comment. All you would remember is just somebody said this thing. I don't remember who. That really happens with every YouTuber. So another question. Yeah. One more question from Neat Ideas. He gave the example of Devon's interaction with professional wrestler at the Olympia event. A lot of arm wrestlers are saying that it is going against arm wrestling. It is not ethical. An arm wrestler should not represent arm wrestling like this. What do you think about that?
I've seen it go both ways. I've seen a lot of leagues come and go, and I've seen people, promote it like over like Igor, the PAL. He promotes arm wrestling like pure its own. But in North America, we tend to big time wrestle everything. I'm trying to get this phone to sit still. Yeah. But over here in North America, we tend to do a lot of hype and stuff like that. So that's not even the worst. I was at a tournament once where actual professional wrestlers arm wrestled each other and they brought their own ref, and they were in costume and they're in character and the ref was in character. And I myself, I personally don't like that, but some people do. And I guess we'll see if it helps or hurts in the long run, but Igor's been running that PAL for a long time. That's probably the longest running arm wrestling league that I'm aware of. So, he seems to do it without a lot of gimmicks. Although the production level of his shows are getting bigger. There's professional bodybuilders there. There's professional DJs, bands. It's becoming it's a pretty big spectacle when he puts on the show. He's got a big audience and he keeps them entertained from start to finish,
Yeah, I also kind of not in agreement with these things, but I also understand the social media part. At the end, if you're trying to promote a product, the audience always wins what the majority wants. Like 90%, I would say at least 90% of people would have enjoyed the Braun Strowman versus Devon Larratt fight or hype or whatever that was. John Brezink was also saying today with Ryan Bowen that he's a wrestler and he came to arm wrestle you. This is the least you could do to return him a favor. At least try to show that you are trying to attempt to wrestling him or something like that. So in the end, audience always wins, and it is all about what people want to watch. Even in the PAL or UFC or everything, the ring girls or the DJ girls, they practically do not have any place. Like Khabib said, they are useless. They do not have any place, but that is what the people want. So audience always wins. That is what I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You really don't need girls holding the round
Rounds.
number card
Yeah.
because we've got signs that do that. But yeah, I mean, it's an event, but you got to package it up to where people want to consume it too. So,
Audience is the king.
although
So
I think it's weird that when the girls fight, there's still girls holding the card. I mean, you'd almost think that if the girls are fighting, there'd be dudes holding the cards, you know?
I,
So I thought they would have switched that, but they didn't.
yeah, I've heard that ideology, or I don't know what to call it. There are studies actually that say that even women like to watch women, like
Yeah.
everywhere. No matter what you are watching, like if some kind of body shop or something like that, even women like to watch women. Nobody likes to watch men.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. So how is your training different for Corey West compared to Zolowev?
Uh, well, I wasn't filming the stuff with Zolowev. How was it different? I think the Zolowev match, losing that forced me to go back and reevaluate a few things. And the one thing that's going to be easier is I'm not traveling, 24 hours to get to another foreign country before I pull them, so it's just Texas. I mean, geez, I probably could have left Tuesday and driven to Texas, as opposed to flying there. The training's not so much different, other than I did find a few weak spots in my lifts just recently. But with this YouTube channel, instead of trying to edit out all the dead spots, I just stopped resting. So if anything, my training's a lot more intense because I'm doing the same lifts and the same reps.
Yeah.
But instead of taking 90 minutes, some of my videos are only like 23, 24 minutes long. And I said, man, I should have been training like this the whole time. This saves so much time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I feel good. I feel strong.
Saving time in working out, and in turn saving time in editing the videos also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I've seen you write down every set that you do. So how long have you been doing this?
20 years. I've been doing it since I started specifically lifting. So starting in 2001 to somewhere around 2001, 2002 is when I first became aware of the West Side barbell system, when I was actually training with power lifters. And I've been writing it down since then. So I actually feel weird if I go to the gym and I don't have my notebook, because if it's a max day, I like to flip back and see what I've done the last couple of times, because it saves you time warming up. If you think you're going to lift 100 pounds, you don't start warming out at 10, you start warming up at around 50. But if you think you're only going to lift 70 pounds, you start warming up at like 10 or 20. And without the notebook, it sometimes doesn't keep me honest, because you got to constantly push the volume up. So on the volume exercises, if you're doing sets of 10, after a few months, you just got to force yourself to start doing sets of 12, then sets of 14, then add the weight. You can drop back down to sets of 10. If you're not writing that down, you don't know how long it's been since you've increased the volume. And if you're not constantly pushing the volume up, your heavy lifts will stall.
So in the 20 years that you were talking about, you have quit arm wrestling twice, I guess.
I think 3, maybe 4. I'm not sure. At least twice.
So
for some reason, I think it was at least 3 times. But yeah, at least twice for sure.
So during that period of time, I don't know exactly how much years is that. Let's assume 6 years, combined 3 times. So what was your workouts during that period when you were not arm wrestling?
Oh, when I was not arm wrestling, I really wasn't working out at all. I probably quit going to the gym completely. I mean, I still do a lot of backpacking and hunting and stuff. So I'm active, but I wasn't lifting weights or watching the diet or anything.
So,
I'd lose a lot of weight because I wasn't eating all the time, but mostly lots of walking, I guess.
So still 10, 15 years of workout, you must have entire room filled of notebooks if you are still keeping record of the lifts that you
I
did.
have stacks of them. Now I've also moved to like 6 different states. So I got a lot of them in storage, but yeah, I've got piles of them, and I'm not sure I still have every one of them. When I got to the place in Ohio, I put the big whiteboards up on the wall. That saves me time from having to flip back, because then I can go up and I can look at 6 months worth of training all at one board. And then that really helps me if I can see that, I'm not set, if I haven't set a PR in a long time, it shows me a hole in my training right off the bat. Which a lot of the stuff you have to do if you train by yourself. If you have a coach or a trainer or teammates or something, you've got people that kind of help you keep records of stuff. But if you're training by yourself, you sometimes forget, a month ago that you didn't hit a PR, but then again, you might have been on a business trip, or you might have been sick for a week, so it's nice to have those records. So, because you got to constantly, to myself, my philosophy is you got to constantly push the volume up and then constantly push the max weights up. And you can't wait until it feels like you can do it. You have to, you got to fail a lot. You got to try volume that you can't do in order to get your body to find that next level.
Talking about PRs, yesterday you uploaded a max effort video about some lift I forgot. So was that old video, or are you still doing max efforts few days
I
prior
did a
to the
max effort. That was Wednesday morning. So today's Thursday. I filmed it on my phone Wednesday morning, and then I uploaded it Wednesday evening. Yeah.
Okay. So you're not like Devon Larratt in this sense, who likes to rest 1 or maybe even 2-3 weeks before the match.
God, no. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off. I took 2 days off.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow, and then the event's not till Saturday evening. So 2.5 days I took off. So
yeah, maybe you're.
Normally I train Friday and Saturday. So if I'm recovered to train on the weekend, I don't need to take time off. But when you travel to a tournament, you end up having to take time off anyways, because there's no gym in this hotel. And then tomorrow I'm flying. So yeah, there's just no way to work out between Wednesday evening and Saturday.
Right. Maybe because your elbows are immune to soreness or pain. That is why you can work out.
They're probably not immune. They're probably trained.
Okay. Right. So what is your prediction when you're going into your match? Like, if I ask as straight as I can, what will be the score tomorrow?
It all really depends on the first. I think I win the last 2 matches. All right. I think I win this. I think I win the series. And I think I win the last 2. I'm not confident that I go 3-0. If he wins the first 2, that's going to be rough. But I think if it goes to 5, I think my advantages go up the deeper into the matches it goes. I think I win the last 2. I don't know when the first, so I might win matches 3, 4, and 5, for instance.
So if this is a best of 5 match and you're winning the last 2, it means you're winning the match, obviously. Or it can go to,
right. But I don't know if I'm winning the first 3, is what I'm saying. Corey could it's very understandable to me that Corey could win match 1 and 2, and I win matches 3, 4, and 5. I don't know. Because I really don't know how he's been training. All I can do is look at his past videos and stuff. So, he knows where my weak points are. I know where his are. He's not fast off go. And as far as I know, video footage of him top rolling is as rare as video footage of Sasquatch. I just don't think it exists out there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him shoulder press anybody, but I wouldn't be surprised if he shoulder presses me on match 1 or 2. But almost, other than that, probably 99 out of 100 videos is him wrist to wrist, sometimes coming back from the losing position. So I know he's got a whole lot of horsepower, even if he's knocked off center.
So have you ever watched any of my videos, Arm Wrestling News, YouTube?
Some, not recently, not in the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to pop up I used to get notifications of them, but lately Facebook and YouTube don't really give me I get notifications of like the same 5 people. And 4 of those aren't even arm wrestlers. I don't even know why I'm getting notifications of these people.
So about 5 months ago, when this match was announced, I made a prediction. I said that I think Corey West needs one more year to beat Todd Hutchings, and I think Todd Hutchings is going to win this match 3-0. And I gave reason for that assumption that I have never seen Corey top roll, and Corey is not as fast as Babai ever proved who can beat Todd in a hook. So that was my assumption. And also I said that maybe this is a training partner bias from Michael Todd. Like Ryan Bowen thinks that Lachlan Adair is the strongest everywhere. Maybe the same thing is going on with Michael Todd and
well,
Corey
to be
West.
fair, Ryan now thinks Lachlan is the second strongest.
Yeah. And that's when somebody asks me, what is your prediction about Ryan Bowen versus Lachlan Adair? I don't have any prediction in that match, because if Ryan Bowen was telling the truth about how strong Lachlan is, if he was telling the truth, there is no way that he should be able to beat Lachlan. Because maybe about 2-3 months ago, he was saying that Lachlan is unbeatable. He cannot do anything with Lachlan Adair. And if he was lying, which I believe he was, because I think Ryan Bowen is too smart to lose this match, because it is about his goals that he has projected for himself in the next upcoming years. I think Ryan Bowen was just sandbagging it so that when he beats Lachlan Adair, it makes him so much better that 3 months ago he couldn't even move this guy, and right now he's beating him just because of dedication and training.
It'll be interesting to see the rematch. I think Ryan found a hole in Lachlan because when they practice together. If you practice with somebody, you know where they're strong and you know where they're weak.
Yeah.
And if you figured out where they're weak and then didn't tell them, theoretically you could beat them anytime you wanted. But after this match, there has to be a rematch. You can't just beat the dude once, become the king of Australia, and never have to defend it, right? So the first so maybe Ryan defends it against somebody else, but Lachlan probably gets the second or third, I don't know, king of Australia match. And then we'll see if Ryan's truly better than Lachlan, because now Lachlan knows the hole in his game. He knows exactly how he got beat. And the kid's strong, and the kid knows how to train. So it's not going to take Lachlan years to go back and fix, if Lachlan's got a weak top roll or a weak press or something like that, it ain't going to take him years to figure that out. It's going to take him 6 weeks.
Right. Let me quickly ask you some rapid fire questions. So 1-word answer, probably a yes or no. That's what I like to hear. If you had the power to amend the rules in arm wrestling and nobody would question your authority, would you ban the King's move?
No.
Okay.
No, I really believed it. I know you're only, yes, I believed it. I know I'm only allowed 1 word, but that match went like I said. Sasha knocked RVJ off center. RVJ stopped him and pronated him. I thought from there RVJ would pull him back. I didn't think Sasha was going to be able to push him down. I knew Sasha would get on the winning side every time, but I just thought, I didn't think Sasha could pin RVJ because his hand was so big, and I didn't think they'd ever go into the straps.
And talking about big hand, Michael Todd has said a couple of times at least that you won't be able to comfortably grip against Corey West because his hand is so massive. And when he goes sideways, you will be turned palm up against under his hand. What do you think about that?
That's why I train with a 3 3/8 diameter wrist wrench. John, Dave Chafee's got a hand I don't grip comfortably. Michael Todd's hand I can't grip comfortably. I've pulled these people with big hands before. To be honest, I can't hardly grip RVJ's hand comfortably. My hand is probably the size of a 180, 190 pound dude. So yeah, grabbing people with big hands is something I've been doing for 4 or 5 years now.
Like
I am not top rolling Corey West. So I you know what I'm saying? Yeah. At most, I will keep him flat-handed, but I'm comfortable arm wrestling with my wrist back a little bit. I just got to keep my knuckles up. I don't have to maintain hand position or hand control. I just got to keep my knuckles up. So yeah, I don't need to. I'm not going to comfortably grip his hand, And I felt his hand. I know what it's like. I know how big it is.
So, how long is your hand from wrist to fingers? Igor must have measured it when you went to PL.
Yeah, you'd have to go to. Well, let's see. Hold on.
Right.
I might have a tape measure in here. I got an idea for a video tomorrow.
I asked this question because you said you have a hand of a 85 pound guy, and I am that guy, 185-pound guy.
So I don't know how to. Is this what you want? So it looks like.
I'm guessing around 8.
I was going to say 8. This is something that would be so much easier with an assistant. So at the base of my hand, I don't know if you can see that. It looks like 8 to the top.
Yeah.
8.25 inches from the bottom to top. That isn't so, that, but that ain't the part you're gripping. What the part you're gripping is this part.
Yeah.
This 10.5.
Yeah.
You know, that's the part that you can't hardly get around on somebody.
I'm about 5'10" and a half, and my hands are really skinny, but they're a little bit longer than average. I'm at 5'10" and a half, my hands are 8.5 inches. And I was quite surprised to hear that about Michael Todd. Michael Todd's hand is not even 8 inches, and he's about 6'3".
Yeah. Well, Michael Todd, when I first pulled Michael Todd, we were both 195 pounds.
Right.
You know, well, Michael Todd's hand is thick here. You know, I'm not. Yeah, he gets all the way around on the back of my hand, but I have a hard time getting his just because he's thick through this part.
Right.
You know.
So before we end this interview, I want to know something about your match against Sasha Andre. When you first faced him, I'm assuming it was the first time you faced him in Moldova, 2018.
Yep.
So
first time I ever met him.
What was the weight category in that match?
Like 90 or 95 kilograms, something like that. I don't know if it was 195 pounds or 209 pounds. I can't remember. So I mean, we were in a little class. We weren't in the super heavyweight class.
Right. So how comfortable, how confident are you about that upcoming match in January 2022 that you can repeat the same result?
Like I said, man, I thought RVJ was going to beat him. I mean, unless he's got like a supercharger or something in that arm, man, I don't. He's just, my hand's bigger than his.
Right.
You know? So I feel real comfortable. I'm impressed that he beat RVJ as easy as he did. That I didn't see that. I mean, I knew he'll hit me off center too. I suspect he'll hit me off center. He'll want to be wrist to wrist. I'm going to go to the losing side, and I'm just going to try to keep the match palm to palm. I'd rather arm wrestle him with our hands flat than with our hands curled in.
Right.
And as big and as strong as he is, you got to understand, I've been arm wrestling.
He froze.
That level of force, no matter how bad the dude is. He's fat. I'm sure he's way faster than I am, but I just got to get the brakes on it somehow. And had I pulled Zolowev, just tried to keep my wrist high and let him go over the top of my hand, but not bring my forearm down, I think that match would have gone differently. So I'll probably do the same thing against Sasha. Just make sure that my wrist doesn't go past 12 o'clock. This part, not this part. Make sure that, you know, this wrist bone, the top of my forearm doesn't go past 12 o'clock. So just put all kinds of shoulder into it.
I don't think he was able to knock you off center in the Moldova match. I watched that match recently. Maybe it was because I think he had a war with Krasimir before your match. Yeah. I saw that.
And I pulled Krasi too. I saw the match recently. Someone sent it to me, and it wasn't a video I'd seen before. I didn't realize we'd started so many times. I thought we just pulled one. Someone sent me a match where there was like 2 or 3 elbow fouls. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, there was a foul. Then there was another foul just when you were about to pin him. Then you won on 2 fouls.
Yeah, but we'll see. I thought he was knocking me off center, but I mean, I haven't watched it. I haven't thought a whole lot about it. After he beat RVJ, I was contacted about taking that match. I told her, yeah, I'd definitely take that match. But right now, I'm only focusing on that little guy coming out of Arkansas tomorrow. I'm not focusing on I don't know. What country is Sasha from? Someone asked me the other day and I felt bad that I didn't know.
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, because there's a lot of strong people in Bulgaria. So that doesn't surprise me. He's Bulgarian.
Yeah. Krasimir, they live really close to each other, and Krasimir Kostadinov was on Chan Shaw's channel, I think. And Bojidar and Krasi lives like really close to each other, maybe 5-10 minutes from each other. But Krasi said that for some reason he doesn't know why Bojidar doesn't come to train with him, so he has to train alone. That is what Krasimir
Oh,
said.
that's too bad to have that kind of talent right there and not access it. But I'm training by myself. We got good people in the United States, but I got to do it, you know. So
He froze again.
oh, sorry, I'm still frozen.
No, I can see you now. All right, thanks for your time, Todd. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. And
Yep.
guys, if you're still here, please subscribe to Todd Hutchings. If we can give him 50-60 subscribers at least, that would be amazing. For me, at least.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.